Let's go!
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week number 3 here from virtual Lanier National Speedway. What a gorgeous sight we have of the newly refreshed dirt oval that popped up on the iRacing official series just a few months ago. Lanier been in long standing with the service, but it was starting to look a little dated. That's why the iRacing graphic team went in, did a complete overhaul. I mean, look at that. Ooh, the concrete just looks so final, so finessed. And the drivers of the OuTPost Racing League are going to have to wheel their UMP modifieds. They voted for this, by the way, in the Discord. Drivers vote for whatever car they want to drive that next week. So drivers voted for this, the UMP modified. It was supposed to be an 80-lap feature. Now I admit, I set it to 70. I'm so sorry, but hey, a couple of drivers told me 70 laps probably the better choice on these UMP modifieds on Lanier National Speedway anyway. With that being said, allow me to introduce myself. If you're not used to the name already, or the voice, I should say, my name is Mac Nelson. I will be on the prod and on the comms. I'll be pushing all the buttons, making all the calls, but making the calls on track is going to be our race director, Cody Lewis. Man, round of applause to Cody Lewis. He's doing it for the love of the game, and he has done a fantastic job these first 2 weeks. I'm sure he will do A-okay here in week number 3. Towards our league intel, like it says down there at the bottom, don't mind that. It was supposed to be 80. We're due for 70 here tonight. You know what? Hey, it's a bad league. What can I say, man? It's my first time going around here, Dirt Oval. Come on, man. Cut your boy some slack. You're winning $20. Whoever wins this race is winning $20, might I add. But we are at Lanier. Next week, we go to Eldora, the pinnacle of dirt racing, home of the dream, home of the World 100. I made my way down there in 2018, I believe was the year, with one of the drivers that is taking the track for heat race number 1, Chase Copeland. But real quick, we'll take you through our track intel. We are in Brazelton, Georgia. Lanier National Speedway opened in 1982 by Georgia racing legend Bud Lunsford, I believe is what that says. Facility was paved in the mid-1980s and became a staple of Georgia short track racing. And then a bunch of, well, just to be honest, legends in the sport have all competed here. Next event, I couldn't find it on their website, so they're not getting one. Regardless, we do need to get you through our starting grid for heat race number 1 here tonight. It's going to be the Twisted Speed driver. Boy, is he quick. James Murphy. In the number 65, he is going to be starting on pole with Braden Carter, part of CSC Motorsports, in the 005. Going to be outside row number 1. Nate Wimhoff in the number 48, representing Midwest Sim Sports. He sits in P3 with Derek Darnell in the number 86. He sits in P4, also representing Midwest. Dylan Jones is going to be in P5 with Chase Copeland in P6. A whole lot of Midwest in here. Aaron McGee and Colt Race, I guess is his last name. I apologize. The Weapon is his nickname. We'll see if he lives up to that for Valhalla Motorsports. Nick Mason in the number 11 is going to be rounding out our cars here with 9 in heat race number 1. 10 cars. Well, it was supposed to be 10 cars. 10 cars, 10 laps, 10 minutes. That's all these drivers have to get their race done here tonight. We'll see if they can make good on that. They should be able to complete 10 laps in 10 minutes. As iRacing official Pace Stroke going to head into the safety of the pit lane, we will get up into our spotter booth. Week number 3 of the WCW. James Murphy has the honor of pulling the button, getting us started here, and oh no, already calamity inside of turn number 1. As what in the world happened there? We are definitely gonna have to go take a look at that one. But we'll try to get a good look here. As, oh, I believe it might have been, yeah, I think Aaron McGee might be kind of where this all happened at. Oh, no, Nate Wimhoff just got a little loose. Oh, no, not the dream start for Nate Wimhoff, that is for sure. Ah, oh, man, that is very, very tough. The drivers are going to be lining things back up. Colt Race is still in the pits. Nate Wimhoff also in the pits. I do believe we have another situation here of not entirely filling up the race session. So if you guys know anybody that would like to come out and race with us, please, by all means, bring them out. It's an opportunity to win $20 each week. No commitment whatsoever from you guys. No dime you have to spend. Just the dime that you might want to spend on a livery if you want to look as good as these Twisted Speed cars have the past few weeks. They showed up to one of the final rounds of the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour in baby blue, now repping what looks to be like a tuxedo black and white on those Twisted Speed machines. So very, Very cool there. As Chase Copeland is in a new blood red 110. That one's also looking very, very good. He is going to be running in P3. Now remember, guys, we're only, quote-unquote, taking the top 3. However, I do think eventually everybody is going to make it in. But it's 3 wide for P2. Chase Copeland in the 110. He is going to be out to an advantage over the other 3 drivers. That's Aaron McGee, Braden Carter, and Dylan Jones, the 22, or I take that back, the 86, I apologize, of Derek Darnell. He now wants to stick his nose into the picture. This is a 5-car lead here, still 4 laps to go. There is a lot to fight for here. Oh no, and that's going to be a little bit of a botched corner entry there from Braden Carter, I believe. Now, there could have been contact there. I didn't see any, but there definitely could have been. Chase Copeland in the 110 being chased down by Dylan Jones in the number 22. These guys know each other very well inside of the racetrack. Not a whole lot of maneuvers these two can pull that the other one won't particularly be looking for. So it's all about just raw pace right now. But our leader, James Murphy, going to take the white flag. And after turn 1, calamity and chaos, things seem to straighten out. It's going to be the Twisted Speed driver of James Murphy in that number 65 UMP modified, bringing home heat race number 1. Chase Copeland rounding out, in P2, Dylan Jones going to be rounding out your podium. Braden Carter, Aaron McGee, Derek Darnell, Nick Mason, Colt Race, and Nate Wimhoff going to be the running order there. But as the drivers of the OuTPost Racing League Win Cash Wednesday Series grid up here for heat race number 2, I do want to remind you guys, you can join the Discord. Link is in the description below if you want to come out and race. That's all it takes. You join the Discord, you apply to the iRacing League, that's League ID 5532, and you can earn your, not even earn, you just get an opportunity. You can come out and race with us every single Wednesday. It's truly just that simple. Your starting grid for heat race number 2 is going to be Brandon Jones in the number 15, TJ Boyd in the number 9. He is going to be outside row number 1. Adam Tyler Scott going to be in P3 in the 23, with Jeffrey Hyatt outside row number 2 in the number 93. Dwayne Hobbs in the 159, Aiden Lewis in the 55. Going to be making up row number 3. Preston Roberts in the number 12. Tim Graham in the number 64 for Valhalla Motorsports. Going to be outside row number 4. James Miller going to be in P9. It's very, very interesting to see how the track has developed here so far. It's also going to be very interesting to see how these drivers take heat race number 2, considering what they just saw in heat race number 1. Into the wall early for Jeffrey Hyatt. He can't get that UMP modified sat just right. That's going to be calamity for him. Not exactly how you want to start your heat race, especially here at Lanier when qualifying position and starting position is oh so important. A defensive driver has a very easy time holding their position here at Lanier just from how the track is set up, the banking of the corners. It's a little banked, but it's not so banked to the point where riding the top is necessarily an advantage all the time. Adam Tyler Scott, though, holding his own in P2. He only has Brandon Jones in front of him. That ship, unfortunately, has probably already sailed for the likes of Adam Scott. So all he can do now is just defend, and that's going to be a little bit more than a love tap. As I am very surprised Adam Tyler Scott didn't go around, and now Jeffrey Hyatt, TJ Boyd, I believe Preston Roberts getting into it. And that is going to be a yellow. Aiden Lewis is currently, he towed to the pits. We're definitely going to have to go back and get a look at that. We'll go up in the Outpost blimp here. Okay, I'm not. The timing tower was telling me two different things. Oh, yeah, it looked like that might be. Yeah, Dwayne Hobbs and Aiden Lewis got into it. Try to get a little. Oh, yeah, just two drivers going for the same real estate, really. So that's going to be a caution in heat race number 2. I believe drivers had 6, possibly 7 laps completed. So I'm not sure where we will sit once we go green. Of course, the timing tower will tell all. So be on the lookout for that. I appreciate you guys who pulled up the stream, inviting me into your home here on a Wednesday night, as we are going to go single file. Pace truck is pulling in. Stay tuned for our main event here tonight, the 70-lap feature race. With pretty much all these drivers, Brandon Jones has had a pretty solid hold on things so far. Tyler Scott giving the rest of the grid hell, but he is not able to keep up with Brandon Jones. TJ Boyd is trying to maybe dethrone him from that P2 spot, and I mean, while he's at it, he can take a stab here at Brandon Jones. 2 sticks up in the air for Barney the Flag Man. Brandon Jones around the outside here. It's going to be a drag race into turns number 3 and 4 for Adam Scott and TJ Boyd. TJ Boyd is turning that thing on a dime. Down on the inside, he's got the momentum over Tyler Scott. It's going to be wide and deep for Adam Scott. TJ Boyd around the bottom is going to claim second place. And he's only going to be 1.5 tenths behind Brandon Jones, who is our heat race number 2 winner. But dang, TJ Boyd, he was absolutely moving. So as these drivers get ready for their main event here tonight, 70 laps at Lanier National Speedway, we will step away, take a break. When we come back, it's racing, it's action, it's money on the dash for whoever wins the race tonight on the Outpost Racing Network. It's the Outpost Racing League Win Cash Wednesday.
He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end? And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1. Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean. As that's still 4 wide on the
Michigan.
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and
my
to the
goodness.
line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping.
Welcome back to the Outpost Racing League Win Cash Wednesdays. Drivers are gritting up. That means they are ready for their 70-lap feature here tonight. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, my name Mac Nelson. I'll be your voice up in the booth tonight. And it has been a wild few heat races. Everybody, luckily, is going to have the opportunity to race here tonight, as we did not have more than 24 sign up. Hopefully, that can change next week. If you're interested in driving in the Outpost Racing League Win Cash Wednesday series, join the Discord in the link below. That's all you got to do. That's all you have to do. Once you're in there, apply to the iRacing League. I mean, obviously, you got to be in the league to go race. 5532 is the league ID there. We'll go over your starting grid for the race tonight. Starting on pole, it's going to be none other than James Murphy, that Twisted Speed 65, Brandon Jones, Chase Copeland, TJ Boyd, and Dylan Jones. Going to make up your top 5. Adam Tyler Scott, Braden Carter, Dwayne Hobbs, Aaron McGee, and Preston Roberts make up your top 10. Derek Darnell, James Miller, Nick Mason, Tim Graham, Colt Race, Jeffrey Hyatt, Nate Wimhoff, and Aiden Lewis are going to be your 18 drivers vying for $20 here tonight in the Outpost Racing League Win Cash Wednesday series. James Murphy, just like heat number 1, he is going to get us started here in the feature. We are green already. Calamity there towards the top 5, 6, or 7. Drivers are going to be very, very aggressive here. They're going to try to put everything down early in these UMP modifieds. A little bit of a wheel hop from touching the inside wall there for Dylan Jones. The 23 of Adam Tyler Scott starting to get a little wobbly on exit. You got to think maybe his car is more set up for the slick stuff. He's probably going to be fast a little later on tonight. 3 laps down, working on completing the 4th now is our 2nd place runner right now, Chase Copeland, and that's going to be a car around. That looks like Aiden Lewis in the number 55. We'll have to go back and take a look. Oh. As that wasn't even part of it. Oh, no. Yep, that is 100% on Tim Graham there. And that is going to be a penalty for Tim Graham, I assume. Although he is already in the very back, so not sure what exactly can happen to him there. But up front, it still sees Murphy, Copeland, and Jones. Chase Copeland and Brandon Jones actually switching positions there. So a good old 2-3 swap, as well as Dylan Jones and TJ Boyd. They also swapped positions. Braden Carter doing a fantastic job in that number 005. Drivers lining things back up. It's going to be James Murphy here again to start us off for the 2nd time tonight. Green flag in the air. Drivers are getting their elbows out. Oh no, the 15! Oh, that's not good. We're gonna go ahead and have another look here. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was in the completely wrong stratosphere there. We need to be looking at Adam Tyler Scott. A lot of new names here. New names, new cars. I'm getting confused about it. We're still not in the right spot. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We'll figure it out eventually. No doubt in my mind about that one. As that is Preston Roberts. He unfortunately got caught up in some calamity. So 2nd caution of the night. Drivers are finding it a little difficult. Getting accustomed to the UMP modifieds here at Lanier. These cars, man, it's such a talent to be able to drive these. I personally cannot. I can't drive any dirt car on the iRacing official service. I'll just be 100% honest with you guys. However, the UMP modifieds were a lot harder than everything else. Like, I could hardly even make a lap in those things. So these guys are already infinitely times better than me. Here we go. Green again. James Murphy is hoping this might be the time that he can kind of just get out and away. As, oh no, it looks like Colt Race is going to be getting involved in some trickery, some tomfoolery. He's going to wash up the racetrack. That's going to be Aaron McGee that he hits on the exit of the corner there through turns number 3 and 4. They're going to be 3 wide. Aiden Lewis, Nate Wimhoff, and I believe that might be James Miller. Now Preston Roberts gets in the middle of a 3 wide situation between Jeffrey Hyatt and James Miller. James Miller going to swing the car around the outside. Look at him working that top. He is flying right now. Jeffrey Hyatt, with his patented maneuver of just sticking things around the bottom until the track gets completely worked in. As, oh no, Preston Roberts now kind of just running all over Jeffrey Hyatt. Not what Jeffrey Hyatt wants to see there after an already miserable start to the night. Nate Wimhoff now doing an incredible job sitting here in P8. He started this race in P17, mind you. So what a fantastic run of things now for Nate Wimhoff. He's up 9 spots. He is going to be our top charger here. Aiden Lewis also up 9 positions, but he is going to fall 1 spot back from Nate Wimhoff. Wayne Hobbs in P7 trying to make things work. Drivers are starting to get a little stretched out now. They're running their own pace of things. Chase Copeland right on the back of James Murphy there. If you look at Brandon Jones, the car just seems in so much stress on exit corner. It just seems that the littlest of mistake is really making that rear end tweak out on exit, and it's allowing Braden Carter to move himself into some more desirable, more favorable positions. But of course, as soon as I say that and we hone in on it, Brandon Jones has been lightning fast. He's actually going to run a little quicker than James Murphy and Chase Copeland that time around. So if we're not careful here, we might be seeing a 5-car conga line for the lead. There's still a lot of race left though, so nothing is set in stone, that is for sure. And if we look towards the back, we saw it in real time. Oh no, that's James Miller on his lid. As he is just going to run all up the track. Gave Nick Mason absolutely nowhere to go. That is either going to be a penalty for James Miller or his night over. I'm not sure if he's already been credited for one yet or not. So that is going to be our 3rd caution of the night. Had to take a drink of water, though. This battle on the top side of the grid, I should say, very, very interesting and heating up very, very nicely. Now, see, in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour, which I had the honor of broadcasting all 12 weeks of here on the OuTPost Racing Network, I noticed in these races, James Murphy, although they are super late models, we're in a completely different car here, but James Murphy was always fast throughout every single stage of a race. He was Mr. Consistency, whereas Chase Copeland, probably the fastest car on the grid to start things off, but it just never seemed like he could carry that pace into the length of a long race, into the late race stretches. So it's going to be very interesting to see here if the cautions are going to favor Chase Copeland because of that, I'm not going to say inability, but lack of optimal ability to keep things going towards that late race. It's going to be 2 wide side-by-side fighting between Braden and Brandon. That's Carter and Jones, respectively. That is going to be for P3 and 4. The other Jones, Mr. Dylan Jones. In that number 22, he's going to be battling with Aaron McGee just behind them. It's pretty boxed up, 2 by 2 by 2. For the likes of Dwayne Hobbs, Nate Wimhoff, Aiden Lewis, Jeffrey Hyatt. There's Preston Roberts trying to stick his nose in. Maybe figure out some sort of way to navigate this traffic. Colt Race basically using him as a wall right there. Very well done on Preston Roberts to not be able to be faltered, not get broken up. His frame of mind thrown off because of that. He now has one task at hand, and that is to catch Aiden Lewis, but Preston Roberts doing pretty much just that. He now sits in a very advantageous position. These guys battling in front of him, he is going to be able to take that opportunity and maybe get around both of them. It's very congested here on the end bottom half of our top 10 here. Jeffrey Hyatt going to be in P9. That Dwayne Hobbs 159 car going to be 8. So 2 spots in the top 10 are up for grabs here. Jeffrey Hyatt and Dwayne Hobbs very low on the racetrack. There's Aiden Lewis as well. As I apologize for the sniffles, I've got some allergy problems going on, you know, the change of the season, but holy, I cannot stop to blow my nose or anything. These guys are in constant action. There's constant pressure being applied by Preston Roberts here in the number 12. He is going to be tracking down Jeffrey Hyatt. And we know Jeffrey Hyatt very, very well. Very defensive driver, able to keep his spot. He doesn't get overtaken in the open drive too often. Risky move down on the inside of Dwayne Hobbs. Oh no! Dwayne Hobbs is going to get into Preston Roberts as a domino effect to that. Maybe a little south of clinical for Jeffrey Hyatt, but the move got done. I'm just glad nothing more severe came out of that. As the battle for the lead is starting to heat up, Chase Copeland down on the inside of James Murphy, and just as Chase Copeland was catching up, going to make a play, try to make a move, Aiden Lewis in the number 55 is around. Let's go take a look. Now, big battle happening here between him and Dwayne Hobbs, and oh man, I think the wheels just collided, I think. If I'm not mistaken, that might have just been wheel collision, because that seemed like a ton of force just randomly hitting that number 55 car. We'll take a look. They look pretty matched up, and just the way the car goes sliding that fast, it's hard to think just plain contact did that. I think maybe their tires struck each other. I know that's kind of how iRacing likes to dramatize things. If the tires touch, the car goes into a cyclone. So that is going to be another race stoppage, our fourth caution of the night. Looking to have our fifth start of the night. James Murphy in the number 65 getting prepped in, ready to go. Pace truck pulling in. James Murphy in the 65 trying to fend off, I guess. I was going to use a word a little more civilized, but I like the barbaricness of it. He's trying to fend off Chase Copeland here, who currently is repping the Monaco flag. Monaco race in F1, the Monaco Grand Prix at Monte Carlo, going to be this weekend. It changed dates on us. Usually they try to run it on the same Sunday as the Coke 600 and the Indy 500. However, things did not line up that way this year. What a finish that was in the Indy 500. Felix Rosenquist over Scott Malukas, I believe. What a finish, man. And we're shaping up to have something of those proportions here. If James Murphy and Chase Copeland keep going lap for lap, they've been almost identical in time, only off by 100th on the last two laps here. James Murphy, that's going to be connection issues for James Murphy. Oh no. Now with that happening, as soon as he crossed the start-finish line, I'm confused on if that's going to give him a black flag or if it's going to return him to the front. Yes, it did return him to the front. We saw it, or I saw it over on Racer Nexus last night. I was calling the Apex this GT4 Tuesday series, their season finale, and a driver went through some connection issues as soon as he crossed the line at Road Atlanta, and it gave him a black flag, and he finished last because of it. Very, very unfortunate. Hopefully something like that doesn't happen here. 32 laps to go. These drivers just a little north of halfway through with this race. Here comes Braden Carter down on the inside. That's going to be for P2, and Chase Copeland is not too fond of that. He's going to shut the door early. He's going to do his best to try to outpace Braden Carter, all the while putting pressure on James Murphy, which is exactly what he's doing here side by side. Drag race down into turn number 1. Chase Copeland, James Murphy putting on one heck of a show. Around they go again, turns 3 and 4. These guys are like they're magnetized to each other. They just will not move off each other's side. And now watch out for Braden Carter, because all this battling means he might get into it as well. And even through the blink, James Murphy and Chase Copeland still side by side, strapped to each other's hips. It's like they're in sync. And I'm not talking the boy band. I had to cough there. But James Murphy in the 65 finally found some sort of an advantage. Chase Copeland with a little bit of an audacious love tap there into the corner. It's not going to mess James Murphy up too well, though. Chase Copeland is washing up the track and is actually squeezing James Murphy up the track just a tiny bit, but it's all okay because James Murphy is still holding the momentum advantage. He is higher up on the track. He can push more RPMs through that UMP modified. Down into turns number 3 and 4, Braden Carter and Brandon Jones are doing about the same thing. They are not doing it to the effectiveness, however, of James Murphy and Chase Copeland. There's also a big battle going on between Jeffrey Hyatt and Nate Wimhoff. That's going to be a few cars behind them. This is for P6. But nothing is more interesting than what we see here. Top 4 drivers. 8,200 I rating for James Murphy, 6,400 for Chase Copeland. They're going to make contact. They're still going. Round and around, first big mistake out of James Murphy, and now Chase Copeland has the advantage and more importantly has the lead. But James Murphy gonna slot right down into the spot that Chase was just at. They've essentially swapped positions here. Little bit of a love tap there from Murphy to Copeland. Murphy gonna check up, but Copeland regather his senses. That's how you know it's good, clean racing here, and oh no! Braden Carter just turned James Murphy. That's gonna be a yellow flag out, and then in turns 3 and 4 there, who's that? I think that's Tim Graham and Colt Race. So we'll go back and take a look at it. It was right here at the end of turn number 1. And I mean, it's just an incredible run for Braden Carter. But I mean, I'm sorry, but there's nothing you can do. You have the good run, but unfortunately, that does not mean you can just barrel over people. As we'll get another look at it, James Murphy just coming to the top side, and yeah, Braden Carter just didn't really let out of it. Jeffrey Hyatt gonna take a little bit of damage there, the 45 as well, and we'll see what I don't even know what happened here. Tim Graham and Colt Race. Oh yeah, Colt Race just threw the car in a little too hard, and Tim Graham just caught him on the sudden scrub of speed. That unfortunately is always going to happen. iRacing official pace truck pulls in. Chase Copeland gonna pull the button early, very, very early. As James Murphy is currently out. Oh no, out of the race. God, you hate to see that from the Twisted Speed driver. James Murphy was so quick, man. So quick here in our race at Lanier. I think he said he was going to enjoy this race a lot. I mean, you could obviously tell He was absurdly quick, but unfortunately it is going to be James Murphy no more. As with 17, now make it 16 laps to go, Chase Copeland now going to lead the pack. Braden Carter was showing very, very good signs of life here in the last few laps. You see him ripping around that top side. Doing a very, very fantastic job. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to contain the sniffles, the allergies, the sinuses, whatever you want to call it. Trying to contain that, trying to make sure it doesn't leak over into the airwaves. That would, one, be disgusting, two, very unprofessional, so I don't want to try to do that. Chase Copeland in the 110, 13 laps now to go. He sits in a realm of undisputed pace. He's about a tenth faster than the other drivers here on track. Braden Carter, though, last time around, it's going to be a tenth quicker. Here's what I said earlier. Chase Copeland so fast until the very end here. We'll have to see if this is another installment of just that issue, or if we're going to see our only multi-time winner. We're 3 weeks in. We've had 2 winners. Chase Copeland winning week number 1 at Lima Land, and then Augie Mike Augustine winning week number 2 at Oswego. So if Chase Copeland can be a multi-time OTPRL winner, he will be the first in history, hopefully a long history. We'll have to see how it goes. But he will be the first in history. Will we look back on this 5 years from now and consider this a plumber era? I'm not entirely too sure. Probably not. But regardless, Dylan Jones is trying to make a statement now. He sits just on the very edge of that top 5. Unfortunately, going to beat the wall down in turns 1 and 2, so that's going to mean Nate Wimhoff has a very good run on him. But now Aaron McGee in the number 8. He's trying to make something work. He's trying to make a move on Aiden Lewis, and he's going to do exactly that. Aiden Lewis struggling right now, as I'm not entirely sure what his game plan is. Same thing with Dylan Jones. These drivers are just not able to get it set up. Not able to really get it held down and clicking. Braden Carter, however, is, and he is in hot pursuit of our race leader, Chase Copeland. 4 laps to go now, $20 on the line. History being made, or will we see a debut winner in the OuTPost Racing League Win Cash Wednesday Series? Three laps to go now for Copeland. He's got Carter on his inside. Braden Carter, unfortunately, going to be about a tenth behind that last time around. Turns 3 and 4 aren't looking too hot either. 2 sticks in the air for Barney the Flagman, as Chase Copeland tackling the penultimate lap here in round number 3. He's got Colt Race, whatever his name is, as the final back marker to pass. He is going to do just that. Week 3 of the OuTPost Racing League Win Cash Wednesday sees its first ever multi-time winner. That's a 66% win rate for the 110 UMP modified driver out of Reedland, Kentucky. It's going to be Chase Copeland representing Midwest Sim Sports. And what a drive for him, but you gotta wonder, what if that wouldn't have happened to James Murphy? He was the only one who could hold a candle to the pace that Copeland had tonight. Braden Carter, very impressive P2 drive with Aiden Lewis. Up 15 spots, he is going to score a podium, and he sits on the final spot of our rostrum here tonight. Aaron McGee going to bring it home in P4. Nate Wimhoff sits in P5. Dylan Jones, Derek Darnell, Jeffrey Hyatt, Adam Scott, and Brendan Jones going to round out your top 10. What a drive from these guys tonight, and we will bring in Mr. Aiden Lewis, who is going to be on the final step of the rostrum here tonight. He finishes P3 at Lanier. Aiden Lewis, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
You looked very, very quick, and I don't want this to come off in the wrong way, but you also looked just a tiny bit inconsistent tonight. However, I say that in saying you are still the hard charger. You're still up 15 spots. You got it to P3 here tonight, although I think you'd probably agree you had some laps where you kind of missed your marks by a lot. So how's that feel to still finish on the podium, but there still be, that much more?
It feels really good, to be honest. I'm very inconsistent because I'm not a very good UMP guy. Just overall, I've been kind of trying to learn, the cars and setups stuff like that. So, I don't know. It's just I don't know. I just still got a lot of practice to do. So
Hey, everybody's got some practice to do. You know what I mean? You can never have too much practice. But I do want to touch on what seemed like that, 25 lap war that you had with Braden Carter. I believe that's who it was towards the start of the race. Tell me about that, being side by side, fighting, defending, overtaking so much in the, first bits of the race. How did that kind of weigh on your mind?
I mean, it gave me a lot of confidence, being able to pass some of these guys that are way, way better than me. So, I had a pit for repairs one time, and because there's some people out there that are, there's some weapons, but we get through it, and I don't know, it felt very good, to be honest. I'm very surprised with the way I finished. Felt very good.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were rapid as hell all night. You deserve the P3. Before we let you get out of here and enjoy that, do you have anybody you want to shout out or thank for the performance here?
Oh yeah, I gotta thank Midwest Sports. They helped me so much getting better and teaching me a lot of things. So that and Chase Copeland for the setup with that, and Tyler Bickford over there. He made the setup, and Chase made some tweaks on it, and all the Midwest guys, CFM setups, Aces and Eights designs for my wrap, or not this wrap, but my late model wrap. I gotta get a modified wrap. I got one being made here soon, so that's about it, really. And thank y'all for putting this on.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for the kind words. Pleasure talking to you, Aiden. We'll see you hopefully next week when we go to Eldora.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna go watch me some Eldora right now. So
yes, sir.
I'll see
yes,
ya.
sir. That was our P3 finisher, Mr. Aiden Lewis. Now switching gears. Oh, I apologize. A little bit of a Discord conundrum there. P2 gonna go to the 005 car of Braden Carter. Braden, Mac up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
You were quite literally a rocket ship for some of these runs off of turn 4 tonight. Now, through turns 1 and 2, you were rapid. Obviously, you finished second, but just to have that clear, abundant pace over every single car on the grid coming out of turn number 4, was there anything you were doing different, or was it just how the car was set up?
Yeah, races like these, I always try to set up for the end. We were kind of single file on the bottom, and I know I'd save the right rear a little bit. I feel like I got it to the top too early, but you got to try things sometimes, and I knew it'd be there. It's just how long it'd be there, and it went away too fast for my liking. And I tried to get back under Chase, but it just, I don't know. The top was good for the laps I had it, but it couldn't do as much as I wanted it to.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you looked very, very strong out here in the UMP modified. Now, I do have to ask if you plan on running next week at Eldora, what car would you like to run there, considering your very strong performance you just had here in the UMP? Do you want to stick with the UMPs, or would you prefer something else over at Eldora?
Yeah, I mean, I'd run anything, honestly. I just, I love racing. It's just, I don't know. I'll probably be there. I ran week 1. I wasn't here last week. I'm not sure why. I don't remember what was going on, but I have fun in here. It's a good deal here. I watched the broadcast back. It's a good deal everybody puts on here. I've had a lot of fun. Good win to chase as well. I have a lot of respect for him. We always, race side by side, and that was a good one there. And to come home with $20, that's good for him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Braden Carter. Well, I mean, you finished P2 here. I know you kind of got to it just a little bit there, but yeah, the floor is yours, man. Whoever you want to shout out or thank for the performance here tonight.
Yeah, all the guys over on my team, CSC, Kyle Hardy Racing, Wins Race Designs, KK's Diecast, Kevin Lynn Keeling, Eternal Racing, Colby Yule, all my real life sponsors. Some of them might be watching. I don't know. Shout out to all those guys that help out. OT PRN for the show. It's a lot of fun here. You don't get to run long races like this that are pretty clean majority of the time. A lot of good guys in here. Good win to Chase. Good run to Aiden as well for P3. Thanks for the broadcast as well there, Mac.
Yes, sir. Braden Carter, appreciate the kind words as always from you. Hopefully we talk to you here soon at Eldora next week.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
That is going to be our P2 finisher, Mr. Braden Carter. What a fantastic job he did here tonight, but our winner needs no introduction. He's your only multi-time Outpost Racing League winner here. It's going to be Chase Copeland in the 110.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. It's great to be back up in the booth with another dub.
Now, I said to the broadcast, and, I think you would agree, that towards the end of these long races is where you typically seem to kind of fall off. But tonight was the exact opposite. You look to be very pristine, very sharp, very educated, right down to that last lap. So was there any sort of frame of mind change, anything related to the car setup that you think enabled you to just be a little more forceful towards the end of the race?
Oh, absolutely. It's because I didn't run anything that I built tonight. I want to give a huge shout out to Tyler Bickford. He wasn't able to be here tonight, but he was here in spirit, and Bickford is the UMP god. I've been missing setups for the past 2 weeks, making my guys slow, making us look like shit. But tonight, man, we threw that TB07 setup on, and it was a ripper. Phenomenal race with Murphy there after the halfway point. You don't really get to run door to door with many guys like that on the sim and not kill each other. And I think we did it for like almost 10 or 15 laps straight. I hated to see him have his ordeal and end up getting junked, because I was wanting to do that for the rest of the 30 laps or 35 laps that we had left. Braden, just like he said in his interview, me and Braden raced together a bunch, and he's another phenomenal guy on the sim. And it was cool being able to race side by side and kind of play some defense there at the end with him, because he for sure probably had the fastest car on track. I was a little bit better on the blocking side, I guess.
Now, as you know, the three, staple cars here that we have in the Win Cash Wednesday series are the super late models, the pro lates, and the UMPs. Those will always be on the board unless we have an exclusion week, but, we won't get into that now. You've got the win in the pro late. You got the win in the UMP modified. Now we head to Eldora next week, just kind of trying to pick your brain here. If you're down with giving it away, what are you going to vote for?
I don't know. I was really expecting Augie to be back this week. Like I said, he's the king mecca of UMPs, a super knowledgeable guy when he comes to setting these cars up. And I knew we were probably running for second tonight if he didn't show up. I say that to say, heading into Eldora, it's one of his best tracks on the sim. He's a phenomenal super late model guy too. I would love to see super late models at Eldora next week, but I know Augie's going to come back. He's going to steal $20. So I might end up voting for pros. I'm kind of in between pros and supers right now. I'll have to kind of sleep on it tonight and say a little prayer and think about it, but definitely between one of those two.
Well, fair enough, but you got the win here tonight. You secured the cash. And yeah, man, the floor is yours. Whoever you want to thank, whoever you want to shout out before we send you home here paid.
Yeah, man. All the guys over at Magility Speed Shop for keeping us fast. Phenomenal guys to work with, and couldn't do it without them and them giving us the speed and the knowledge to be able to go out here and win these money races and do as good as we do in our league races that we do run. Tyler Bickford once again, for having the absolute speed in the race car tonight and being able to adjust on those CFM Magility Speed Shop sets and put a bunch of our guys up front and be able to run consistent like this. All the homies over at Midwest Sim Sports, Aces and Eights for the wraps. DRT times OTPRNL coming up soon. DRT's got a new series that's starting up that yours truly will be broadcasting. So we invite everybody to come over there and get those registration forms filled out and get signed up for that, starting up next Monday. And yeah, man, you for putting on these races and everything you do for the sim community. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. Good, wise, kind words from our second-time winner here in the Outpost Racing League's WCW Series. Going to be the 110 driver of Chase Copeland.
I love you.
Man, if y'all don't, man, me and Chase have been friends forever, man. I know him IRL. I could go to his house and slap him if I wanted to for saying that to me, but I'm not going to do it because we love the homies around here. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for week number 3 here at Lanier. It was a fantastic time. Thank you guys for inviting me into your homes here tonight on a Wednesday night. Chase Copeland coming home with the $20. Man, oh man, next week we go to Eldora. It's the pinnacle of dirt racing. Eldora Speedway in virtual Rossburg, Ohio. Drivers will begin their voting tomorrow morning for what car they would like to drive in week number 4. So if you're not in the Discord, go ahead and get in there. Apply to the league on iRacing. It's 5532. That's all you have to do. That is it. It's so painfully simple. Not a dime has to come out of your pocket, and you get to race for $20 each and every week. Big shout out as well to all of you for being out here, but all the drivers for coming out and participating. It would not be a thing without you guys. You know what I mean? So thank you guys very much for all you guys do. Thank you for showing up to the events. Next Monday, 7:30 p.m. CST will be right here on the Outpost Racing Network, streaming the OuTPRL WCW Series live from Eldora. Ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself and take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one.